let's move on to number 74. This was an interesting choice, I thought at first, because when you listen to the song, it's the number 74 is the OJ's Ship Ahoy, 1973. Now, when you listen to it, it has just that, I don't know, that beautiful OJ's sound to it, right? And if you didn't know what it was about, and if you were just kind of a casual listener, you might even miss the message until you start to listen to what they're saying and really see what's behind it. So let's dive into it a little bit.
If you know all the songs of this album, they had a lot of hits off this album. But the title track here, Ships Ahoy, absolutely kind of puts a big spotlight on what it meant growing up. I mean, it's the history of basically slavery in America.
Yeah.
And their harmonies, I mean, classic OJ sound. But this song, is a little slower ballad, and you listen in the background, it has cracking whips, and this song really hit home hard, and had a distinct message to it.
Well, and that's one of those things like the whip crack. If you're just a casual listener, just listening to the song, you might even miss it. You know what I mean? Or just think it's a part of it. But then when you dive into it, you're like, man, that's such a thoughtful way of putting into the message what you want, adding those whip cracks and talking about slavery and coming over on the boats and everything. I mean, this one I absolutely loved it. This was a solid five-fister for me.
Well, obviously, look, it hit R&B's hip hop number one album.
Yeah.
So this album had a lot of traction. This song had some traction. I don't remember the song being played that much on the radio. I had heard the song before, but I don't remember it getting that much play. And most of their other hits were more popular off this album. But again, back in those days, me and you talk about it all the time. You would get an album and you'd actually listen to all the songs.
Which is the best part, everybody. Stop this foolishness. Even if you're listening on streaming, go to that discography, pick any album from these artists and just listen to it from top to bottom, and you're going to be glad that you did. So what if you take a chance and you didn't like it, or you think you wasted 3 or 4 minutes? I don't think it's a waste at all. I think that it's a journey. So stop fooling yourself. You got to listen to it all.
Yeah, look, like I said, this is a great album, top to bottom, and there's a lot of great songs on this album. I mean, there were songs like "The Air I Breathe," "Don't Call Me Brother," "Backstabber." Of course, probably was the most played hit off this album.
Mm-hmm.
So, this was a full album that really cut into that culture and history of the Afro-American experience for the last 400 years.
Well, and the bands like these really changed the game for everybody. They really did kind of pave the way for what music would become. They're such pioneers in what they did. This was a home run. Bravo to you, Rolling Stone, for putting this one in there. This is one of those, I'm telling you, just like before, you would definitely, if you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't even understand the message because you get lost in the musicianship.
Yeah, again, this is 1973. It's still, the emotions of civil rights. This is when a lot of the civil rights music was at its highest peak.
Yeah. They kind of hide it in there. It's almost like they're so good. It's almost like a subliminal message. It's almost like if you play it backwards and really slow, the devil's going to come in and tell you all sorts of things. But the devil isn't there at all. They're giving you a good message, and they're saying it loud and proud. This one's a no-brainer. This one's awesome.